Hello. Hello, G. How are you? How is everyone? How did your paper went? Everyone, all of my students, mark their attendance right now, because the past 2-3 lives we have taken, I have taken for physics, all the questions, literally one question other than that too was from my notes. All the other questions was from the questions that we did just one day before. How does that feel? That feels amazing, right? Everyone, mark attendance, my students. The questions are similar to exactly what we did yesterday, a day before yesterday, and the ray diagrams we did on Saturday. Hi, hello everyone. How did your paper went? Great. Easy, tough. Okay, we have mixed feelings. Physics, on the other hand, I am hearing that physics is tough. Okay, let's see. I too actually saw some of the questions. Those were the case-based questions. The CBSE did send one googly towards you with that telescope question. I think that too, if you read it quietly, what did I tell you? Every time you read a question, you take a back seat and start from the basic. Okay, let us see what is the first question. The answer to the very first question of the section C. We have the pair of eye parts responsible for admitting different amount of light in the eyes is, oh man, I cannot tell you the amount of times I have got you this question in the question bank, in the sample question paper, in the PYQs, even 1 day, 2 day before, right? It is iris and pupil. Very easy. A is the correct option for 30th, right? Then a vision defect which arises due to gradual weakening of ciliary muscles. Again, easy man, easy. Presbyopia due to gradual weakening of ciliary muscles. Next we have assertion reason question. With the help of compass, magnetic field lines can be traced outside the bar magnet. That is true. Assertion is true. On the other hand, the reason says the north pole of a compass needle always points towards the south pole of the magnet when brought close to it. That is true, right? That is true. Actually, the north pole of the compass needle will point towards the south pole. Very basic, right? But is it the right reason for our assertion? With the help of compass, magnetic field lines can be traced outside the magnet. The north pole of a compass needle always points towards the south pole of the magnet when brought close to it. So that's why north pole. See, this is my magnet, north, south. I'm not explaining, but just all the compass needles will be pointing. All the compass needles will be pointing towards something like this, right? Towards south. So field is towards south. So this is actually A. Answer for 32 is A. Both are correct. 33. A fuse in electric circuit is rated 4 ampere. Can it be used with an electric heater of rating 2 kilowatt with the voltage 200 volt? What was the answer to this question? Let me know, everyone. Did you solve this question properly or not? Did you solve the question properly? What the answer you got? Okay, I'm seeing some answers. Great. Let's solve it very quickly. This is literally the most basic question we have ever seen, right? So what is the fuse of electric circuit? You just have to find the current, right? You are given P equals to 2 kilowatt, that is 2000 watt, right? And we have the voltage as 200 volt, right? So from here P equals to VI, very important formula we know, right? So P is 2000 and voltage is 200 into I. So I will be what? 2000 divided by 200. This cancels out to 10. So I comes out to be 10 ampere. So the fuse of 4 ampere cannot be used. Fuse of 4 ampere cannot be used in this case, right? Because the required current for the heater is actually 10 ampere. So fuse of 4 ampere will melt, right? Easy question. How is electromagnet made? Oh, come on. Inserting a soft iron core inside a solenoid is how we make an electromagnet. And write any two ways by which the strength of electromagnetic can be increased. So you either increase the current or increase the number of turns of the insulated copper wire around the soft iron core. That's how you increase the strength of electromagnet. Okay, great. Very easy question. Then on a different set, we are seeing here set 2 and set 3. Okay, set 2 and set 3. So in this question we have, what do the symbols given below represent in an electric circuit? This is very easy, ma'am. First, this is voltmeter. This is what? This is voltmeter, right? And the second is what? Second is rheostat or variable resistance. Variable resistance, rheostat. Correct? Then this symbol is for rheostat, this is for voltmeter. We all know it, right? Next we have, this question we did it in the class, right? VI graph, very simple. I told you again and again, slope of VI graph is given by the resistance. Now, does this follow Ohm's law? Ma'am, this is a linear graph. This is a linear graph and it passes from origin. It passes from origin, so it does then signifies the Ohm's law. Great. Okay, then and calculate the resistance. The resistance is simple, right? Take any value of, at this point, take any value of V and that same value of I. So that V equals to IR from Ohm's law, V equals to IR from Ohm's law. V is what? 0.8, I is what? 0.2 into R. So you can just solve it, right? 0.8 divided by 0.2 and that comes out to be 4. So R is 4 ohm. The answer for 39th question A part, 4 ohm. And yes, it does follow Ohm's law. Done, everyone? Great. This was easy question. This was an easy question. We did it in the class as well, right? We even drew the graph. We had different value of current, different value of voltages. We drew the graph, correct? Very good. Great. All my students, if you say that the paper is tough, I'll collect all of you like infinity stones or whatever those are and I'll crush you. Okay. Then we have another, what do you say? Resistance combination. What did I tell you, my students? I told you that the first you have to see these resistances. These are in series. So what will I do? I will just add 3 plus 7. I will add 3 plus 7, that is 10 ohm. Now this 10 ohm will be in parallel with this 10 ohm. So that will be 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10. That will be 2 by 10. That will be 1 by 5. So RP is 5 ohm. Now 5 ohm is in series with 5 ohm. So total resistance is what? 5 plus 5 plus 5. Total resistance, my friend, is R equivalent. R equivalent comes out to be 15 ohm. Everyone. So calculate the equivalent resistance done of the combination connected in the series. Very easy. CBSE cannot give more easy question about the combination of resistors in this case. Okay. Then find the value of the total current drawn by the battery. We have R equivalent. We have voltage as 5 volt. V equals to IR. So I comes out to be what? Voltage, that is 5. Voltage, that is 5 divided by, this is 15. So I comes out to be what? 1 by 3, which will come out to be 0.333 something, right? So I will be 0.34 ampere. Done, everyone. Right? Easy question. Literally, this is, till now, nothing is tough in this paper. I'll literally collect you and kill you all, guys, if you say that this is a tough question paper. Yeah, easy question, right? Till here nothing is tough. Okay, let's see the next ones. Define the SI unit of power we said power SI unit is watt. Why? Because we said that हम watt लगा देंगे physics की. So SI unit of power is watt, right? Express the electric power of an electric appliance in terms of potential difference and current. That's the most basic formula. P equals to V into I. That is the formula. You all had to write just this one formula. Then second, this is the first part. Second part, in a house, 3 bulbs of 100 watt. Okay, 3 bulbs of 100 watt. We did this question as well. Are lit for 5 hours daily. The time is 5 hours per day. Okay, 5 hours per day. And then an electric heater of 1 kilowatt. An electric heater of 1 kilowatt is used for half an hour daily. Now this is 0.5 hours per day, right? We have to calculate the total energy consumed in a month of 30 days, and the cost should be what? 3.6 per kilowatt. So what do you have to do? You have to calculate energy. We calculated this a lot of the times, right? Just the values are different. Everything is same. What will you do? You have 3 bulbs. You have 3 bulbs of each of 100 watt. So total power will be what? 300 watt. Total power they will be taking will be 300 watt, right? Then we have, they are running for 5 hours daily. They are running for 5 hours daily, and that too for 30 days. So that will be 30. So that will be what? 150 hours. 150 hours in a month now. So now, one thing I told you to be very sure about, that you converting power into kilowatts. So this will be 0.3 kilowatts. So energy will be what? Power into time. 0.3 kilowatts into 150 hours. So that will be what? 45 kilowatt hours, my friend. So this is for 3 bulbs, right? Everyone, any doubt in this? This is for 3 bulbs, right? Next we have the another, that is our electric heater. Now electric heater. Okay, electric heater was consuming a power of 1 kilowatt. Power of 1 kilowatt. Power of 1 kilowatt. Now this is already in kilowatt, so you don't have to convert it into kilowatt, right? And it runs for 0.5 hours daily, correct? So energy will be what? 1 kilowatt into, now 0.5 into 30 days, right? That will be what? 15 hours. That will be 15 hours, everyone. So 1 kilowatt into 15 hours, that will be 15 kilowatt hour. And the total energy will be the sum of these two. So the total energy will be 50 kilowatt hour. Done. Total energy will be 50 kilowatt hours. Correct. We converted all the power. See, 100 watt, kilowatt, we converted it 50, everything. You just add these two, you get 50 kilowatt hours, and that is my 1 unit, right? Now it is 3.6. 50. So you just have to multiply 50 into 3.6. 50 kilowatt hours into rupees 3.6. Now you just multiply this. 5 into 6 will be 30. 0, 3. This will 15. 1, 8. And this will be 0. 180 rupees will be your cost. 180 rupees will be your cost. Done, everyone. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this one? Did you get the same answer? Did you get the same answer? Done. Let's see the next question. A person is suffering from a defective vision due to the elongation. We did it just tomorrow. Right? The elongation of eyeball. What is the defect? Elongation of eyeball means the image is forming in front of retina. If the image is forming in front of retina, then that is what, my friend? That is myopia. right? Write the name of the defect and write other possible causes of the defect is excessive curvature of eyeball, and second is what? Second will be your less focal length or decrease focal length of eye lens. Done? Great. Okay, then we have this defect can be corrected by using a suitable lens. Now that lens is what, my friend? That lens is concave lens, right? And to make a diagram, you just can see like this is my eyeball, okay, and we have to use concave lens. So this is the concave lens I'm using. Now the rays from infinity, the rays from infinity are coming, and first they are converging at one point, then these rays are going into my eye lens and the image is being formed on the retina. Done. Very easy, very easy, right? Okay, let's move on. A mirror used for rear view of an automobile has a focal length of 2 meters. Now it is a rear view. That means which mirror is it? Which mirror did you guys write? You guys wrote convex mirror. Very good. So this is a convex mirror. Great everyone. If a car is located at 8 meter, we did the exact same question. If the car is located at 8 meter, remember that bus question we did, that the bus is located at 5 meter? We did it again and again because of this, because the same questions come in the exam, and that is why you get to practice it again and again, right? So located at front, find out the position of image. So you just use mirror formula. You will use mirror formula, that is what? 1 by F, 1 by V plus 1 by U, right? Now convex mirror has positive focal length. 1 by 2 equals to 1 by V plus minus 1 by 8. Now you just have to take the LCM. 1 by V will be what? 1 by 2, this is minus, it goes there, it becomes plus, and the LCM will be 8. 2 4s are 8 plus 1 equals to 1 by V. So 1 by V comes out to be 5 divided by 8, right? And 8 by 5. V will be 8 by 5, which will be 1.6 meters everyone. So V is 1.6 meters. All of you got the question, got the answer as 1.5. Great, very good. Now let's see the second part. Draw the ray diagram for image formation by the rear view. So this is again simple. Anything. See, this is my convex mirror, and you have to basically make the case in which object is at any point between infinity and pole. Right, so this is infinity, this is pole, this is my focus, this is my center of curvature. At any point, so one ray goes, it should pass through focus, it diverges, right? Another ray goes, it should pass through center of curvature and comes back. So this is where the image is being formed. Done? Great. Clear? This is my object, this is the image you should have made, everyone. Correct? Okay, next question. Oh, this is the question that spinned you guys, right? This is the question that got you on your toes, that you're like, what is this? What exactly is this? So what exactly is this? Very basic, very simple question. You don't have to go through so much into detail, right? If you go into detail of this diagram, then you'll definitely get confused. But let's see. The above ray diagram is to show the image formation by a reflecting telescope. Okay, reflecting telescope revolutionized our way of looking into the sky. Reflecting telescope employ large mirrors to gather focus light rather than relying solely on lenses. So we know they are using mirrors in it, right? Read it very carefully. That these telescopes utilize precisely shaped and polished mirrors to capture the incoming light, reflected it to focal point, and where the telescope forms an image for observation. Now, what kind of image of a star is seen by the observer in the eyepiece? Now, this might be tough, but you don't have to go into much detail. You just have to look at it very carefully that, ma'am, these rays are parallel, light rays are coming from distant stars, the curved mirror reflect those rays, then plane mirror again reflect those rays. Now, which lens is this? You can clearly see that this is a convex lens, right? We can see it. Now, this is the mirror. Which mirror is that? It is a concave mirror. It is a concave mirror, right? And this is a plane mirror that is given. My friends, plane mirror we studied yesterday. Plane mirror forms what? Plane mirror always forms virtual and direct images. So what kind of a image is a star makes? It makes virtual and erect image of the star, and plus magnified if you have written, but I'm guessing that is not that much main, but if you have written magnified, then it's true. But virtual and direct should work right as well. Okay, then what kind of mirror is used in this? Clearly see, concave mirror. And then explain with reason what kind of optical device we use at eyepiece. So we can see that it is a convex lens. What is the reason exactly? Reason, ma'am, the convex lens takes the light, it gathers it, and it forms a real image in our eyes. From the virtual, the plane mirror forms a virtual image. So what convex lens does is it gather all the rays and forms an image in our eye. That is it. That is its whole purpose, is to gather all the rays coming from the plane mirror and to let us see it. Okay, done. And I am guessing that a lot of you must not have attempted it. So what is the role of plane mirror in image formation? Now you can clearly see, ma'am, it takes all the reflected ray and guides it towards the eyepiece. That is it. That is it. Whatever you are seeing, you have to write that down. Whatever you are seeing, you have to write that down. That is, we studied this again and again in the class, right? Okay. Then we have, this is the same diagram we studied in magnetic effects of electric current. What happens to the road AB when key K is closed? Ma'am, the conductor is placed between this magnet. So when we switch on the magnet, when we switch on the circuit, this conductor, a current will flow, and because of this current, it will experience a force because of the external magnetic field due to this horseshoe magnet, and hence the row will be reflected. The row will get deflected, right? And name and state the rule. Beta, I told you yesterday they will ask you directly to state the rule, which is Fleming left hand rule. I told you, right, that the statement of Fleming left hand rule is very, very important. They'll ask you directly to state the rule which is used in this case, but since it is experiencing force, from the F of force we know it is Fleming left hand rule, and that does tell us that this is a Fleming left hand rule, which says that index finger points in the direction of magnetic field and middle finger points in the direction of current, and thus thumb gives the direction of force. It gives the direction of force. Does okay, great. All of you correct. Did you write Fleming left hand rule? Yeah, that is why we were studying Fleming left hand rule instead of the palm hand rule. Okay, Sharma ji. Okay, great. Then we have one glass slab. Let's study whatever is given. Observe the given ray diagram and compare the speed of light in medium A and the speed of light in medium B. Oh, see, now it should go straight like this, but it is bending towards the normal. That means refractive index of medium B is more than refractive index of medium A, right? It is more than refractive index of medium A, and that means that the speed of light in medium B will be less than speed of light in medium A. Correct? Correct, everyone. Correct. Very simple. Then optical densities. We just studied optical densities yesterday class, and we studied that optical density of the medium which has more refractive index will be more than the optical density which have less refractive index or the rarer medium. So optical density of medium B, optical density of medium B and C. Okay, now my kids. Okay, this is also true. This is also true, but they have asked just optical density of B and C. Be very careful while reading the question. No, you can't be very careful now, but you should have been very careful while reading the question. Have you? Nobody wrote A and B, right? So see, the ray is not getting reflected. So optical density of medium A is equal to B is equal to optical density of medium C. Draw a ray diagram for refraction where the optical density of medium A becomes equal to optical density of medium C, and optical density of medium B is greater than optical density of A and C. Isn't this a normal case of glass slab? Isn't this just a normal case of glass slab where you have this first medium and the third medium same, and B is something like water, so it goes in, it bends towards the normal, and it now bends away from the normal. Very easy. The basic diagram of glass slab, just they have asked it in a different way, right? Okay, next we have derive an expression for the equivalent resistance of 3 resistors connected in parallel with a battery. CBSE cannot give you more easy question than this. I am hands down the most easy question. All the 3 resistance are in parallel, so you will do 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 6. Take the LCM, and you will take the LCM as 12. 2 into 6 is, we did this question, I remember. 2, 4, 6 exact values. We did this question. So this is 6 plus 4 3s are 12, 6 2s are 12 again, and this will be 9 plus 2, 11 by 12, right? So RP will be 12 by 11. That is 1.09 something, right? What is 12 by 11? My mind is so overstimulated to do the calculations. What is 12 divided by 11? 1.09. Yes, 1.09, right? 1.09 ohm, right? Correct. 12 LCM, 6 plus 3 plus 2, correct. So your answer should be 1.09, and find the values of the electric currents flowing through the resistors R1, R2, R3 in the given circuit. See, now in all these resistances, I value will be different, right? Because in parallel current divides, but voltage is same. So voltage is 12 volt, and R1 will have 2 ohm, R2 we have 4 ohm, R3 we have 6 ohm, and V is same. By using Ohm's law, V equals to IR, you can easily calculate I, right? 12 equals to I into 2, so I will be 12 by 2, that is 6 ampere, right? I1, then I2 is V2 by R2 by 4, so I2 is 3 ampere, correct? And I3 is again 12 by 6, so I3 is 2 ampere. So your answer is 6 ampere, 3 ampere, 2 ampere. Easy. Can you get more easy question than this? Come on guys. This is not fair. You can't get more easy question than this. Yeah, okay, so this is done, and we have defined electrical resistivity of a metal. It is material. It is a property of a conductor which tells us with how much power, on how much extent will it oppose the flow of current through that conductor or charges through that conductor. Done. That is it. Then how will the resistivity and resistance of a conducting wire change if the length and area of the cross section both are doubled? So they are saying L1 is L, A1 is A. Now L2 is become 2L and A2 became also 2A. Now you tell me, we did a case of stretching. In that case area decreases, but they didn't say stretched. They say it changed. So it is not a case of stretching. So R1 is rho L by A simply, and this will be what? R2 will be rho into 2L divided by 2A. Right, so this 2 cancels out. R2 is also rho L by A. So R1 is equal to R2. R1 is equal to R2. So the resistance does not change. Resistivity anyways is not changing because it's the same wire. How will the resistivity and resistance of a conducting wire change if length and area of cross section were both doubled? Since length and area are both doubled, so there is no change in resistance or resistivity. Done. Next we have calculate the electric current flowing through a 4 ohm resistor that produces 100 joule of heat every second. We have now this, for this you need to know this formula that we studied yesterday, right? And a 4 ohm resistor, resistance is 4 ohm. Now per second, that means time is literally just 1 second. So H equals to I square R into T. T is 1, R is given as 4, I square we have to find. H is 100 joule, so 100 divided by 4 equals to I square. This goes to 25. I square is 25, so I is the square root of 25, that is, my kids, 5 amperes. Easy question. Easy, damn easy paper, dude. This is like I'm a little bit disappointed. This is like the most easiest paper. Not just for me, obviously, but for you. We did literally all the questions. All the questions we did it in our classes. Every single question I gave you in the class, in the recorded sessions, even in the live sessions that we did yesterday and the day before yesterday. All the questions were there. Literally every single question was there in the class. So make sure you, now I don't know if it's okay to ask you to subscribe to the channel, but make sure you tell your cousins, you tell your friends who are juniors to you to do subscribe to the channel for Aditi ma'am, because every single question came into the examination that your Aditi ma'am told. Okay, kind of feel like a Superman right now. Okay, that is it everyone, the whole solution. Okay, we have one more question left. Okay, wait. This is from the another set. So state the law which gives the relationship between electric current flowing through a given conductor and potential difference. It is Ohm's law. You just have to write the definition of Ohm's law. It states that the potential difference between two ends of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing between those two ends of the conductor. Okay, draw the VI graph for a given conductor as per the law stated. Oh bhai, this is the question. They actually gave this VI graph. This is the VI graph. Simple. They gave this VI graph in the question paper as well. I am not sure if right, they gave this. This is given in the question paper and they asked you after the same question. Now this is like a pen drop moment, but I won't drop it because it's a expensive pen. But this is like a mic drop moment. No, every question your Aditi ma'am told you has come in the examination, not a single question out. Telescope 1 was a case-based question, and even though in those we studied all the concepts, plane mirror always forms virtual image, what are the shape of those mirror, those lenses, everything we studied, right? So make sure you spread the word of mouth that Aditi ma'am is here, so don't fear for your class 10th. Okay, I'll see you very soon. I hope your question, your all of my kids, all your exam went very well. All the best for the next exams. Now I do hope that your exam went very well, but if in any case, with God's grace, if it didn't, make sure you are focusing on the exams that are going to come in the future. Do not worry at all. Everything will happen in a good way will happen for the best. Okay, now especially for the bio, we'll do the paper analysis later sometime. JJ ma'am was a little bit not well. She's not doing well, so she'll do the paper analysis in a bit. So make sure you join her session as well. Okay, great everyone, great. Again, mic drop. Okay, tada, bye bye. See you in 11th class maybe.
Hello, good evening everyone. Good evening to you all. So how was your science exam? How did it go? I hope it went really well. The paper was very easy, you know. Yeah, I saw that 1-2 questions were hard, I know, but apart from that the paper was quite easy, no? For this chemistry section, I believe whatever I have taught you, everything came from that only. Yes, they did not surprise you much, right? So we are analyzing the paper of chemistry section of section B chemistry for set 2 and 3. Are you ready, my dear students? Are you ready? Yes. Okay, looks like you are. So these were the questions, my dear students. When lead nitrate is heated in a boiling tube, what do we observe? This was the most common reaction, I told you multiple times, the thermal decomposition of lead nitrate. Thermal decomposition of lead nitrate. So when you do thermal decomposition, heat it in a boiling tube, what will we get? We will get lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. This nitrogen dioxide is brown. It gives brown fumes. So which is the option? Brown fumes of oxygen. Oxygen is colorless. So the correct answer is option D. If you marked option D, that is a correct answer. Okay, while washing dirty clothes by soap, micelles are formed. Micelle formation, I've told you so many times. So micelle formation is very important. Select the correct statement about micelle. So firstly, we know micelles have a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. Okay, now when oil or dirt is there, what happens? This hydrophobic tail attaches itself to the oil or dirt. This is oil or dirt, and the hydrophilic head, this hydrophilic head is outside pointing towards the water. Which is the option? Hydrophobic tail of the soap molecule is in the interior and the hydrophilic end is on the exterior. Yes, that is the formation. This is micelle. No, let me draw it again. This is micelle. Oil or dirt we have, and around it the soap molecules align themselves in such a way. This is the hydrophilic part, the water loving part, hydrophilic, and this is the hydrophobic part. So that means A is the correct answer. Tail on the surface, end in the interior of the cluster. Tail is on the surface, tail is on the exterior of the surface. Interior. Tail is on the interior and head is on the exterior. Hydrophilic tail and hydrophilic tail interior both are on the exterior. Both options are incorrect. Next question. What is this reaction? This is respiration, no? This reaction is respiration. So who do that? Humans. We humans do respiration, right? We humans do respiration, and what is that kind of reaction is an exothermic reaction because energy is released. Whenever our body does respiration, we get energy out of it. That means energy is released. Reaction is exothermic. An aqueous solution turns red litmus blue. Excess addition of which of the following solution will reverse the change? So an aqueous solution is turning red litmus blue. That means the solution is basic. That means the solution is basic. If we want to reverse the color change, that means from blue to red, that means you will have to add an acid. One more thing, you can just see by looking at the options: sodium hydroxide, baking soda, slaked lime, all these are bases. Okay, while hydrochloric acid is the only acid here. So that means B is the correct option. Next, which one of the following metals do not react with cold water? Which do not react with cold water? Yes, Sodium, it violently reacts with cold water. Potassium also violently reacts with cold water. Calcium also reacts with cold water, right? But magnesium is the only metal which reacts with hot water. Okay, it reacts with hot water actually. Okay, it does not react with cold water. The question was, which one of the following metals does not react? So these three react, magnesium does not. Why? Because magnesium reacts with hot water. Correct answer is D. Next question, which one of the following metals neither reacts with cold water nor reacts with hot water but reacts with steam? I think you all are happy, right? I am so happy because all the questions I have told you, I have solved with you multiple times. All those questions came. How will you protect yourself from the heat generated while diluting a concentrated acid? So, right, we know when we are diluting a concentrated acid, what do? We take water, this is water, and we add acid dropwise. Dropwise addition of acid is done. When we add acid dropwise, what happens? By adding acid to water with constant stirring, adding water to acid, obviously no. Adding water to acid, no. Adding base to acid with constant stirring, nope. When we are diluting, what are we doing? We are diluting. That means we are adding water. But we are not adding water to acid. What we are doing? We are adding dropwise acid to water with constant stirring. This is the correct option. Option A. We are adding acid to water with constant stirring. The volume ratio of the hydrogen-oxygen gas liberated during electrolysis of water. So when we do electrolysis of water, that means we pass electricity through acidified water. What do we get? We get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. But this is not a balanced reaction, you see. So what we'll do? We'll try to balance it. Now this is balanced. So what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen gas? Ratio of hydrogen and oxygen gas is 2:1. 2:1. B is the correct answer, right? Solder is an alloy of what? Lead and tin. Lead and tin. Copper and zinc. Copper and zinc, brass. Bronze is copper and tin. This is bronze. This is brass. Clear? Lead and tin is an alloy of solder. Solder is an alloy of lead and tin. Okay. Next question. Alloys are homogeneous mixture of a metal with a metal or a metal with a non-metal. Okay. So which among the following contains non-metal as one of its constituents? This is copper and zinc, copper and tin, mercury and any other metal amalgam. Okay. Steel, iron and carbon. Now this carbon is a non-metal, right? So the correct answer is option D, right? How many you got till now? How many MCQs you got till now? Okay, next. Assertion reason question. Assertion says pure ethanoic acid is also known as glacial acetic acid. This is ethanoic acid, right? And we call it sometimes, pure means around 98%, we call it glacial acetic acid. When it is around 98% concentrated, we call it glacial acetic acid, right? This is the assertion. So that means the assertion is true. Reason. Before saying the reason, we added a because pure ethanoic acid often freezes during winter due to its low melting point. Yes, you know glaciers, they have this glacier mountain like shape, right? So whenever acetic acid freezes, firstly it has really low melting point, and when it freezes, what happens? It freezes in form of glaciers, in glacier like shapes only. Okay, so that means this is the correct answer, option A. Both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Write the balanced chemical equation involved in the preparation of bleaching powder. So when you are preparing bleaching powder, what is bleaching powder? This is bleaching powder. In your NCERT books, this is the correct formula of bleaching powder. Okay. Now how do you synthesize bleaching powder? How do you synthesize bleaching powder? You have dry slaked lime. You have dry slaked lime and you pass chlorine gas through it, and what do we get? Now we need to balance this Now we need to balance this. So 2 calciums are that side, so we'll add 2 here. Now see, chlorine are 4, so we'll add 2 here. Now 4 chlorines are there, hydrogens. 4 hydrogens are here, so we'll add 2 on this side. Okay, now this is a balanced chemical reaction. Oxygens are also balanced, right? 2 and 2, 4, 2 and 2, 4, right? This is the balanced chemical equation for the preparation of bleaching powder. For baking soda, this is baking soda, right? For baking soda, you take sodium chloride plus H2O, which is an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, brine, right? Add ammonia to it and pass carbon dioxide gas. So what do we get? We get baking soda plus NH4Cl, right? This is the balanced equation. This is balanced? Yes. For 5, 2, 5, Na is sodium is balanced, carbonate is balanced, hydrogen is balanced, nitrogen is balanced, everything is balanced, right? So these are the balanced chemical equation, A and B. If you wrote this equation in that way, both the equation, that is the correct answer. Next question, identify the substance being oxidized and the substance being reduced. So in this reaction, my dear students, sodium is getting converted into sodium oxide. Addition of oxygen, that means this sodium is getting oxidized. Sodium is getting oxidized. Okay, now oxygen. What is happening to oxygen? If this is getting oxidized, oxygen is getting reduced, because an electropositive element is getting added, right? So identify the substance is oxidized and the substance reduced. Oxidized is sodium and reduced is oxygen, right? Okay, what type of reaction occurs when lead nitrate is mixed with potassium iodide? The reaction is double displacement reaction. The reaction is double displacement reaction. Now see, what is double displacement? Here lead nitrate combines with potassium iodide and we get lead iodide, which is yellow colored, plus potassium nitrate. This is the precipitate. So you can call it double displacement reaction or also precipitation reaction, but we majorly call it double displacement reaction. Okay. Why silver chloride is stored in dark colored bottles? So why do you store silver chloride in dark colored bottles? The reason is, what is the reason? The reason is silver chloride, my dear students, this is AgCl, right? If it gets exposed to sunlight, what happens? If it gets exposed to sunlight, then it decomposes, it undergoes photolytic decomposition and forms silver and gives chlorine gas. So okay, we took AgCl, right? If we did not store it in the why we store silver chloride in dark colored bottles? Because silver chloride, when exposed to sunlight, undergo photolytic decomposition and produces silver and chlorine gas, right? That's why we do not store it in that's why we store it in dark colored bottles. Okay, that's why we do not store it in clear bottles, we store it in dark colored bottles. Why? Because on exposure to sunlight it breaks down, it undergo photolytic decomposition. What is the term we're looking for? Photolytic decomposition. You should have written this term there. Okay, if you wrote it there, do not worry, you got full marks for this question, my dear students. Okay, next question. Write the balanced equation for the preparation of sodium hydroxide by electrolysis of brine solution. This is brine, no? We have brine, which is aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Okay, and if we pass electricity through it, okay, what happens? We get sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen plus chlorine. Now see, sodium is balanced, we need to balance the hydrogen and chlorine. Okay, now we balance the number of hydrogens. We have 2 and 2, 4 that side and only 2 this side, so we just balance it and everything is balanced, I believe. Yes, this is the balanced chemical equation for the preparation of sodium hydroxide by electrolysis of brine. Now sodium carbonate, it is a long process, we'll write it step by step. First step involves the preparation of baking soda. First step is the preparation of baking soda. In the second step, we heat this baking soda. We heat this baking soda and we get this, okay, 6, 3. If we heat baking soda, H2O plus CO2, yes. Let me check if it is balanced. Yes, 2 carbons, 3, 5, 6, correct. This is the balanced, and then after that, let me just move it a little bit. Okay. Now after that, the third reaction is, which is if you have washing soda, sodium carbonate. We were just asked till sodium carbonate, no? So this is the correct equation. Let me okay. Done. This is the correct equation. Okay, this is the correct equation for the synthesis of sodium carbonate. This is sodium carbonate, no? So first step is you have a brine, aqueous solution of sodium chloride. You add ammonia to it and pass carbon dioxide gas through it. What happens? You get baking soda, and if you heat the baking soda, you will get sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Okay. Now the next question is, which method will be used to convert each of them to their respective metal oxide? So if you're trying to convert carbonate ore, any carbonate ore you have, what method you use? Calcination. The method that we use is calcination, and for sulfide ore, the method we use is roasting. What is calcination? What is roasting? Roasting is heating in presence of excess air. Heating in excess air. So if you heat any metal ore, any sulfide metal ore in excess air, we will get its oxide. Okay, and for carbonate ore, if we heat it in limited supply or in absence of air, we will get their respective oxide ores. Okay, we will get their respective metal oxides. Okay, if you want an example, then you have zinc sulfide combines with oxygen. If you heat it, what will happen? We will get zinc sulfur dioxide, zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Okay, and then if you have zinc carbonate, let's say, and if you if you heat it in absence of air, you will get zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. Okay, that's how it happens, calcination and roasting. Next question, which method will you use to convert each of the following to their respective metal oxides? Carbonate ore, we use calcination. For sulfide ore, we use roasting. Illustrate the use of aluminum for joining cracked railways. For this question, we know that is thermite reaction. The reaction is called thermite reaction. And what is that reaction, my dear students? Simple. You have aluminum combining with iron oxide. We will get aluminum oxide and iron in liquid state. Okay, molten iron we get. Okay, yes, everyone did right. Yes, the paper was easy, no? Next question, during extraction of metals, electrolytic refining is used to obtain pure metals, right? Which material will be used as anode and cathode for refining of copper by this process? Okay, this is not balanced. Let's balance it first. This is solid, this is solid, this is solid. Okay, so what do we have? This also. Right, this, and now everything is balanced. This is the balanced chemical equation, right? Thermite reaction. Next, extraction of metal, we use electrolytic refining, right? Which material will be used as anode and which material will be used as cathode? So simple, my dear student, that is very easy, right? For copper, The anode will be impure copper rod. Anode will be of impure copper rod. And the cathode will be pure copper rod. Clear? Yes. Which material will be used as anode and cathode for the refining of copper metal by this process? So if you did this, you score correct. All your answers are correct. Next question. Write all the reactions involved in the extraction of zinc from zinc sulfide. So the first step for this will be roasting. Roasting of sulfide ore. That means you heat the sulfide ore in presence of excess oxygen. Right? This is a symbol of heat. We will get zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. We will get zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Okay? So if we just do this is not balanced. Okay? Let's balance it first. 3. Now this is balanced. Okay, now second step is the, what is the second step? The second step is the reduction. Reduction of the oxide ore, of the metal oxide. If you reduce the metal oxide, you have zinc oxide, and if you add carbon, which is the reducing agent here, so what will happen? We will get zinc plus carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Zinc plus carbon monoxide. Clear? Hydrogen gas has not evolved when most of the metals react with nitric acid. Why? Why? Because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. Nitric acid is being a strong oxidizing agent, oxidizes. Being a strong oxidizing agent, oxidizes hydrogen to water. Hydrogen to water, and that's why we do not get hydrogen gas when treating any metal with nitric acid. Exceptions are there, only manganese and magnesium. Only manganese and magnesium gives hydrogen gas. Rest metals do not. Why? Because only these are more reactive, right? So nitrogen dioxide, nitric acid being a strong oxidizing agent oxidizes the water, the hydrogen gas to water. Okay, and because of that reason, there is no evolution of hydrogen gas when nitric acid is treated with any metal. Okay, when you treat any metal with nitric acid, we do not get hydrogen gas. Write 2 observations when green colored crystals of ferrous sulfates are heated. So if you have ferrous sulfate, green colored, so that means it has water of crystallization, and when you heat it, what happens? You get iron sulfate plus 7H2O. But if you continue heating it, what will happen? You will get Fe2O3, iron oxide, plus sulfur dioxide, plus sulfur trioxide. Okay, let's just balance it. I think this is balanced. 3, 4, 3, 7, 6. SO2 and SO3. Yes, and SO2 and SO3. Yep, now this is balanced. Okay, now see, what are the 2 observations? The first observation is green color disappear. Green color disappear. Disappearance of green color happens, the color changes to white. What is the color change? The color changes to white. Okay, firstly white, this iron sulfate is white, but then after that, if you continue heating it, it will turn to brown. Turn to brown. Okay, next observation is smell. The smell, you get rotten egg smell. Okay, these are the two observations. Green color disappear, first turning white, and then after that you see brown color of iron oxide, right? And then the second observation is your rotten egg smell of SO2 and SO3. Why brown colored copper powder turns black on heating? When you heat copper powder, it gets converted into copper oxide. And this is brown colored and this is black colored. Okay? Add 2 here and 2 here. Now this is balanced. What happens when limestone is heated strongly? What is limestone? Calcium carbonate. So if you heat limestone strongly, very strongly, it gets converted into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Simple reaction, simple straightforward paper. Okay, do not have to think much about it. Next, a little bit lengthy though, right? pH in our daily life, strength of acids, what type of indicator, this is a case based question, what type of indicator used to predict how strong an acid or base is? So the indicators are pH indicators. Okay, if you wrote pH indicators, no worries. And if you also wrote example like phenolphthalein, or you wrote what, methyl orange, litmus paper, they all are indicators, pH indicators. Okay, now 3 solutions are given whose pH is this. Which solution has the highest concentration? The solution which is the most acidic, right? Most acidic has the highest H positive concentration. So 3, 5, 7, which is most acidic? A. So the correct answer is A has the highest H positive concentration. A will have the highest H positive concentration. What are strong acids and weak acids? So simple. Strong acids are those acids which dissociate completely in aqueous solution. To give H positive. Ions. For example, HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, these all are example of strong acids. Next is weak acids. What is weak acids? Weak acids are those acids which do not dissociate completely or partially. They dissociate either partially or incompletely in aqueous solution. For example, we have acetic acid, we have carbonic acid, right? We have formic acid. These all are examples of weak acids. Very simple, right? Very easy, straightforward question. Next, under what condition rainwater is called acid rain? What is the pH? The pH, if the pH of rainwater is below 5.6, and why will it be below 5.6? Because of the presence of sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides. Because of the presence of sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides, the pH of the rainwater goes below 5.6. It is called acid rain. Identify weak acids: nitric acid, strong acid; hydrochloric acid, strong acid; sulfuric acid, strong acid. So what are the weak acids here? Acetic acid, this is acetic acid, and formic acid, this is formic acid. Write all the reactions involved in the extraction of zinc from zinc sulfate. Again, first step is roasting and second step is reduction. Hydrogen gas is not evolved when you treat most metals with nitric acid. Why? Because nitric acid, being a strong oxidizing agent, oxidizes hydrogen to water. Okay, only in case of magnesium and manganese we will get the hydrogen gas. Okay, carbon cannot form C4 plus and C4 minus anion. Why? Carbon has an electronic configuration of 2,4. It can either do one thing. First thing, it can either lose 4 electrons. If it loses 4 electrons, it will form C4 positive. But losing 4 electrons is energetically unfavorable. Or if you have written in place of this, if you have written requires lot of energy, that is also correct. Okay, it is energetically unfavorable, and because of that reason it does not exist as C4 plus. Okay, second option for it, for carbon, is it can gain 4 electrons. It can gain 4 electrons and form C4 minus anion, right? It can do this, but it won't happen. Why? Because 6 protons cannot accommodate 10 electrons. Cannot accommodate 10 electrons. That is the reason. Okay. Define homologous series of carbon compound. It is a series of organic compounds that have same general formula, same functional group, same general formula, similar chemical properties, show gradual change in physical properties. And what happens? Last thing, each successive member differ by CH2 unit, which is 14 atomic mass unit. If you wrote all these five, you are going to get full marks. Okay. Why are the melting and boiling point of C4H10 higher than C3H8 and C2H6? So C4H10 is butane. It is an alkane, right? And C3H8 is propene 6. Hold on a second. This is propane and C2H6 is ethane. So what is happening here actually? The melting point of butane is higher than propane and ethane because it has high molecular mass. It has high molecular mass, and as it has high molecular mass, and thus greater intermolecular force of attractions. Greater intermolecular forces. And it will be difficult to break down these intermolecular forces, right? So that's why the melting point and boiling point is high, right? Because of these stronger intermolecular forces. Why? Because of the increased molecular mass. So they have strong intermolecular forces. Why? Because of the increased molecular mass, and because of that reason they have high melting and boiling point. Okay, these are the keywords. If you have written them in your answers, you are going to score full marks in these questions also. What happens when ethanol is heated with acidified potassium dichromate? So ethanol gets converted into ethanoic acid. Ethanol gets converted into ethanoic acid. What is the reaction? Okay, let me write it here. This is the reaction. This is ethanol, and if you treat it with acidified potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7, what do we get? This is what we get. Okay, clear? This is the reaction. When ethanol is heated with acidified potassium dichromate, we get ethanoic acid. Next, how would you name the following? Firstly, identify this functional group. This is an aldehyde. This is an aldehyde, right? This is an alkyne. This is an alkyne. I told you very simple nomenclature will come. So just count 1, 2, 3. Propanol. Propanol. Second, 1, 2, 3. Propyne. The name is propyne. Clear? First is propanol, second is propyne. Next, when ethanol reacts with ethanoic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, a substance with sweet smell is produced. Answer the following. State the class of compound to which the sweet smelling compound. This is esterification. No, ethanol reacts with ethanoic acid in presence of an acid. Ethanol reacts with ethanoic acid in presence of an acidic medium. What do we get? Ester. So the compound belong to ester functional group. Ester functional group. Chemical equation. This is the chemical equation. CH3CH2OH plus CH3COH, which is ethanoic acid, in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. If you heat it, what do we get? We get CH3COO, CH2CH3, which is an ester, ethyl ethanoate, plus water. Why soaps do not produce foam with hard water? Why? Because hard water has magnesium as hard water has magnesium and calcium ions. These ions react with soap molecules. These ions react with soap molecules and form an insoluble compound. Insoluble compound called scum. Insoluble compound called scum, right? And that's why they do not form foam. Why? Because they, instead of forming foam, they form scum. Okay, they form scum because of the calcium and magnesium ion. What are soaps? Soaps are sodium or potassium salt of long chain. Salt of long chain carboxylic acids. Clear? This is the answer. Okay, and yep, that was it. Now my dear students, you might be wondering about the biology portion, so do not worry. For biology there will be a separate discussion later on, after like tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay, do not worry, we'll do it. And if how many answer you scored, do let me know. Okay, how many of these you answered correctly? Yep, are you ready? Are you ready for your next exam? Are you pumped up now? Well, very well, I hope you all are, and all the best for your next exam. Okay, do not worry, you got this. See, the paper was really easy, no? If you study the concept, even the competency based questions will be really easy for you. Okay, so don't worry, you got this. Take care. Bye.